What's going on, guys? This is Lior and welcome back to the channel. Now in this video, I am super excited to give you guys a neighborhood overview and highlight of the South End, one of Boston's most prestigious neighborhoods. We are outside shooting this on a gorgeous late summer day, and we'll talk about everything from the streets, the neighborhoods, of course the restaurants. We'll talk about things you can do here, and of course real estate and homes. So I'll give you guys a full overview of the neighborhood. So I'm excited to talk about it right now. Before we get into it, super quickly guys, if this is your first time on my channel, first of all, welcome. Second of all, make sure you smash that subscribe button for me. I put out tons of new videos every single week talking about neighborhood highlights, project overviews, and everything that has to do with living in Boston and Boston real estate. So if that's interesting to you, make sure you subscribe. And number two, guys, if you're thinking about making any sort of move around the Boston area, I still get blown away by how many of you guys have been reaching out to me. So if you're thinking about doing anything, hit myself up. You'll get connected with myself and my team, and we will definitely help you out. So with that, let's roll right into talking about the South End. And as I said, the South End is one of the best known neighborhoods in all of Boston. It is incredibly stylish and prestigious neighborhood. You've got amazingly cute streets, incredible brownstones, and incredible architecture all around here. And there's probably two things that I absolutely love about the South End. First of all, it's the restaurant scene, which we're gonna talk about here. Some of my favorite restaurants are all located in the South End. And second of all is the amount of green space. It truly does have just a lot of green space, especially for a neighborhood right in the middle of the city. And that's why you'll see a lot of young families, you'll see a lot of families with kids here just because of this amazing outdoor space here. So that's really something you should definitely consider, and we'll talk a lot more about in this video. But if you're not super familiar with the South End, it's nestled right in the heart of everything. It's right next to Back Bay, it's right next to Fenway, you've got Seaport, Roxbury, so you're literally right in the heart of literally everything. Plus you've got really convenient highway access. And in terms of some history, in the mid-1900s, it became one of the first LGBTQ friendly neighborhoods in the Boston area. Plus it was also a large jazz mecca. There's still some traces of that as well left over. So it's got an awesome history, but today, as I said, very diverse neighborhood. You'll see a wide range of people living here. So with that, let's start talking about the neighborhoods. So in terms of neighborhoods and the people living here, as we kind of talked about in the intro, so you do have a nice range of folks living here. Everyone from younger families to single adults and older retirees coming from the suburbs. As I said in the intro, right? For younger families, as we discussed before, you know, the amount of green space options here certainly makes it really attractive to raise a family. Single professionals, of course, live here as well. And you're still right in the heart of the city. And we've seen this new trend of older retirees coming from the burbs into the city, you know, just to enjoy kind of city life once again. Now, in terms of the actual streets and neighborhoods, so basically the main streets in the South End, there's a number of them. We've got Washington Street, Tremont, Columbus, Mass Ave, and Shawmut. Those are kind of the bigger streets in the South End that you'll see. Now, there are a number of different neighborhoods within the actual South End itself. I'm not gonna go through all of them, but I'll give you guys some of the highlights. SoA, or south of Washington, you'll kind of find that in the southern, eastern part, if you will, a little bit of the South End. And over there, it's kind of an arts district, famous for the South End Open Market, which we'll definitely talk about in the video. We have other neighborhoods like Ink Block, which is kind of one of the more recently developed areas that has a ton of new construction going on, both from a housing perspective, retail and commercial perspective. So that's very different. You also have the 8th Streets neighborhood, which is, as it sounds like, a collection of a number of streets, actually more than 8, but those are streets like Dwight, Taylor, Milford, parts of Waltham Street, and it's just another gorgeous neighborhood. All those streets are lined with beautiful brownstones. They have nice parks, close by to restaurants, so super convenient. And one last one I'll highlight is the Golden Triangle, which is by Columbus Ave, Tremont, and Dartmouth Street. Over there, you're kind of closer to the Back Bay, so you'll see a lot more professionals living there, typically like lawyers, finance professionals, folks in tech. It's a nice little community, also close to restaurants and a lot of things to do. So those are some of the neighborhoods. Now, in terms of streets, you'll also notice if you look at the map that a lot of streets here are named after actual towns around Greater Boston. They have street names like Newton, Brookline, Canton, Dedham, which is kind of cool. And then in terms of my personal favorite streets, I'll give you guys some of my favorite spots on the South End. Union Park is definitely probably one of my favorite streets. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous street right off of Shawmut Ave. It's got gorgeous brownstones and it's got a park right in the middle. Absolutely just beautiful little area. Other streets I love, West Brookline's an amazing street. It has stunning brownstones and really, really nice architecture. And Appleton Street is a great street. It's closer to the Back Bay. It's got taller brownstone buildings and also just a really, really pretty street. All right, so now let's actually talk about, as you guys know, my personal favorite thing to talk about, which is of course the restaurants in the neighborhood. Now, as I said in the intro, the South End is known for its food scene. It is absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna give you guys some of my favorite places I wanna highlight, and I'm gonna take my phone out because honestly, there's too many places to remember. I'm obviously not gonna hit all of them, but here are some of the highlights you definitely wanna be aware of. So we're actually standing right behind on Tremont Street. Black Lamb is right here, and Aquitaine, Black Lamb is a nice little spot. Got really nice cocktails, really good food as well. Aquitaine is a great little spot, fantastic brunch food. If you haven't gotten brunch there, you're definitely missing out. But other places I thought I'd highlight for you guys, Coppa is an Italian spot. It's got really, really great pastas, pizzas. I will sometimes get like a takeout pizza from there on a Sunday. It's very, very good. We've got places like Toro, which is a tapas place. Fantastic tapas dishes, fantastic sangria there. They got actually a really, really cute patio in the backyard as well when it's warm. Cava, SRV are also really famous ones. Beehive, of course, is pretty famous here. Family-friendly restaurant that's really, really solid. Orinoco, a personal favorite of mine. It's a Venezuelan place known for their arepas. I'm not 100% sure if I always pronounce that right, but their arepas are very, very good. They've got another place in Harvard Square and I've been to both. Both are spectacular. We talked about Black Lamb. We of course have a Barcelona wine bar here. So there's a Barcelona wine bar in the South End as well as a location in Brookline. Both are very, very good. If you've never been to Barcelona, it's another tapas place, a small plate, very, very good. Sangria, spectacular. Blackbird Donuts, it's a great, great donut shop. One of my personal favorites. They've got all sorts of different types of flavors. So if you need a little mix up to your donut routine, definitely check out Blackbird Donuts. Of course, I have the South End Buttery, which is like a coffee shop, sandwich shop place. Also can get brunch there during the weekend. They've got very, very good food. And then you've also got a number of classics, right? So you've got places like Anchovies, which is great food and drinks. I've actually not been there myself, but I have heard good things. Deluxe Cafe, which is a casual American restaurant, I've heard is very good. And JJ Foley's, actually right on East Berkeley, is a pretty famous Irish pub for drink and food. All right, so now that you kind of heard me rattling off all my favorite restaurants, let's talk about what else there is actually to do in the South End. And there is plenty of other things to do. So as I said in the very beginning, one of my other favorite things about the South End is just the amount of green space you have here, which just makes it so family friendly and just so beautiful to walk outside. So right now I'm actually walking right on Union Park, which is one of the streets I mentioned was my favorite street. You can see why, just gorgeous brownstones lining the street. You've got a beautiful park right in the middle. It's just like so nice to walk here, so quiet, so peaceful. But the South End is known for that, right? So there are 11 parks in the South End. There are a few other, like they call them like pocket parks and community gardens as well. So they are scattered throughout the neighborhood. There's a couple of ones I'll highlight. There's Peters Park, which is kind of towards the Soho area. It's actually quite a big park. It's dog friendly. It's got fields, really, really nice to walk around as well. And another park that I personally like is Hayes Park over on Warren Ave. You have a few other dog-friendly parks too, like Carlton Court Dog Park. So you can see there's just a lot of places out in the outdoors. You can walk around. Of course, the neighborhood is super pet-friendly, as you can tell. So whether you're gonna walk with your dog or just take the family out for a walk, it's just absolutely perfect and really just a beautiful place to go walk around. Outside of all the park space and the green space, there are still other things to do in the South End. Of course, there's plenty of boutique shops throughout the neighborhood. They have special shops for vintage clothing, furniture, So you can literally find anything around in the little shops around the South End. Other areas I thought I would highlight for you guys too. If you haven't seen my video specifically on SoA and ink block, definitely check that out. But that's an awesome area. SoA is of course super well known for the South End Open Market, which is a weekly market that happens in the spring and summer. They've got food trucks, vendors, arts and crafts. It's just an awesome open market. They got a beer garden there too. So it's just an awesome open market where you could come, hang out for the day, do whatever you want to do there. So SoA is an amazing neighborhood for that. They also have tons of artist galleries because that is an artist area over there. You can hang out in Ink Block, which has a lot of retail. So, you know, between the shops, the parks, awesome little markets like SoA, there's just a lot of things to do here and just keep the city life fresh and exciting in the South End. So let's actually talk now about neighborhood convenience, transportation, shopping, all that fun stuff. So for convenience, the South End is actually, even though it doesn't have a direct T-stop right on it, there are a number of T-stops right around the borders of the neighborhood. You've got plenty of Orange Line stops like on Ruggles, Mass Ave. You've got Back Bay by the Tufts Medical Center as well. So again, even though it's not directly in the South End, literally anywhere around the border, it's pretty easy to get to and makes it super convenient, right? Because you can hop all over the city, or if you need to go anywhere north-south on the Orange Line, you can certainly do that. It's also actually pretty good for highway access. There are pretty quick ways to get onto the Pike, 93 North, 93 South. So that's also really nice and makes it very convenient. And in terms of shopping, you do have a number of different grocery store options around here. You do have a Whole Foods market right on Harrison Ave, right in the Ink Block development. You have a Foodies market on Washington Street. You have also some smaller little shops. You have the butcher shop, it's called the Butcher Shop on Tremont Street, and then the South End Food Emporium, which is like a family-owned local grocery store over on Columbus Ave. So pretty good options throughout, depending on what you need. If you need a larger grocery store or something smaller, the South End certainly has that. So now that we kind of talked all about the neighborhood, let's kind of finish the video with actually talking about the real estate and home prices, because of course the South End is in Boston. It is a very expensive neighborhood. So first of all, in terms of the actual market here, since COVID has happened, of course, like a lot of the areas around Boston, things have softened. Now there has been certainly a rebound, that we felt in the city. People have slowly and surely started to move back to the city, but still it's not exactly where it was pre-COVID. So even though some units that are like really prime and really nice can certainly still fly off the shelf today with multiple offers first weekend, I would say more typically than not, you have a better shot at getting homes that might be sitting on the market for a little bit and playing those cards. Now, I will say too, in terms of pricing, do be careful if you're going to go shop on the market, right? Because plenty of homes are still priced high with a future appreciation baked into that listing price. So you just want to make sure you're properly evaluating the home price and not overpaying on the actual condo. Now, in terms of actual prices and going rates in the South End, there's quite a bit of variance. I'll talk about if you're gonna buy something like new construction, that's maybe in the Ink Block or SoA neighborhoods. So if you're gonna look at buildings like 100 Shawmut or the Quinn, right? Those are brand new construction developments. Over there, you're looking at prices of around $1,100 to $1,300 per square foot. So again, that's for brand new product. If you're gonna be looking around the South End, an existing product, kind of like homes like these, you can find homes anywhere from $900 to $1,200, $1,300 per square foot. That's obviously a very large range, but it just depends on the exact location in the South End. It depends on the exact condition, and of course other unit features, right? Garden level units, for example, are typically more devalued. Does the unit come with parking? That would obviously add quite a bit of value. Is there outdoor space, private outdoor space? So all of those things combined will certainly affect exactly where on the spectrum it'll be. But just so you have a general sense, I would say typically we see $900 to $1,300 per square foot. So if you're looking for a 1,000 square foot unit, you should be ready to spend about $900,000 to like the low 1 millions for a nice unit in the neighborhood. So hopefully that helped, guys. Hopefully that overview of the South End helped, made sense, and kind of got you excited about the neighborhood. It is a truly beautiful neighborhood. Really one of my favorites in all of Boston. It's just so peaceful, quiet. There's so much outdoor space. The restaurant scene is literally unbelievable. So if that's the kind of neighborhood that interests you, make sure you hit me up. I'll definitely answer more questions about it. But if you have any other questions, comments about anything, put them in the comments and I will definitely help you out.